Imagine a quiet lawyer whose philosophy of nonviolent resistance shook the foundations of an empire and inspired movements for civil rights across the globe. The difference between what we do and what we are capable of doing would suffice to solve most of the world's problems. Mahatma Gandhi, welcome to history's tapestry, where every thread tells a story. Today, we delve into the profound life of Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, a man whose principles continue to resonate deeply within our world. Born into a Bania, merchant, family in Porbandar, a coastal town in Gujarat, his lineage was steeped in trade and administration. His parents, Karamchand Gandhi, his father, served as a Diwan, chief minister, in several princely states, exposing young Mohandas to the complexities of governance and ethical dilemmas. Putlabai, his deeply religious mother, profoundly influenced his spiritual development through her strict adherence to Jain principles, including fasting and nonviolence. In his childhood, a shy and unremarkable student initially, young Mohandas was deeply affected by witnessing injustice and cruelty. The stories from Hindu epics, particularly those emphasizing truth and righteousness, left an indelible mark on his young mind. An early, albeit brief, experiment with meat eating, influenced by a friend, caused him deep guilt, reinforcing his commitment to vegetarianism. The influence of his mother's unwavering piety and the exposure to the practicalities of administration through his father laid the groundwork for his later moral and political leadership even in his formative years. A strong moral compass and an innate sensitivity to suffering were evident, hinting at the extraordinary path he would eventually tread. Imagine a young man, steeped in Indian tradition, navigating the bustling and vastly different world of Victorian London, a crucible that would shape his future convictions. His arranged marriage to Kasturbai Mohandas Kapadia at the age of 13 was a societal norm of the time. Their early relationship evolved through trials and tribulations into a partnership of mutual respect and unwavering support. 3 years in London, his journey to London to study law was a significant turning point. It exposed him to Western thought, philosophy, and different ways of life. Initially struggling with adapting to Western customs, he eventually found his footing. Student of law, he diligently pursued his legal studies, immersing himself in jurisprudence and the principles of justice. This period honed his analytical skills and his understanding of legal frameworks, which would later prove invaluable in his activism. He says every time, strength does not come from physical capacity. It comes from an indomitable will. Vegetarianism and committee work. In London, he actively engaged with the Vegetarian Society, even serving on its executive committee. This experience not only solidified his lifelong commitment to vegetarianism, but also provided him with his first taste of organizing and advocating for a cause. It was in South Africa that Gandhi developed and refined his philosophy of satyagraha, truth force or soul force, a nonviolent method of resisting injustice based on truth, nonviolence, and self-suffering. He observed the complex racial hierarchy where Europeans held absolute power, Indians faced systematic discrimination, and Africans were subjected to brutal oppression. Initially focused on the rights of the Indian community, his understanding of justice broadened over time to encompass all oppressed people. Witnessing the rampant racial discrimination against Indians firsthand proved to be a transformative experience. He was personally subjected to humiliation and injustice, most famously being thrown off a train for refusing to move to a third-class compartment despite holding a first-class ticket. Upon returning to India, his initial attempts at establishing a legal practice were unsuccessful, leading him to accept a year-long assignment in South Africa. Gandhi's courageous leadership in organizing the Indian community in South Africa against discriminatory laws, facing imprisonment and violence himself, laid the foundation for his later leadership in India. Imagine returning to your homeland after 2 decades abroad, only to find your people yearning for freedom under the yoke of colonial rule. Returning to India in 1915, Gandhi was initially hesitant to plunge directly into politics. However, witnessing the widespread poverty and the oppressive nature of British rule compelled him to join the Indian nationalist movement. You must be the change you wish to see in the world. Initially, Gandhi supported the British war effort, believing that cooperation would lead to greater autonomy for India. However, the broken promises and continued oppression led to a shift in his stance. His ability to unite diverse communities under the banner of nonviolent resistance was a testament to his unique leadership style. In 1917, Gandhi's first major foray into Indian politics involved supporting indigo farmers in Champaran, Bihar, who were being exploited by British planters. His use of satyagraha led to a successful resolution for the farmers. In 1918, he then led the farmers of Kheda in Gujarat in their demand for relief from high taxes during a famine. His nonviolent resistance again proved effective. In 1919 to 1924, Gandhi strategically aligned himself with the Khilafat movement, which aimed to preserve the Ottoman Caliphate, a move to unite Hindus and Muslims in the common cause of opposing British rule. Gandhi's early successes in Champaran and Kheda demonstrated the power of satyagraha at the grassroots level and established him as a leader who could connect with and mobilize the masses. Non-cooperation movement. In 1920 to 1922, Gandhi called for a nationwide non-cooperation movement, urging Indians to boycott British goods, institutions, and titles. This movement, though eventually called off due to an incident of violence, deeply shook the foundations of British rule salt satyagraha, Salt March/Civil Disobedience movement. In 1930, the iconic Salt March, where Gandhi and his followers walked over 240 miles to the sea to defy the British salt tax, became a powerful symbol of Indian resistance and captured global attention. The subsequent civil disobedience movement involved widespread defiance of unjust laws. First they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you, then you win. Through these movements, Gandhi transformed from a political leader into a revered folk hero, affectionately known as Mahatma, Great Soul. His simple lifestyle and unwavering commitment resonated deeply with the common people. Imagine the weight of leading a nation of millions in their quest for freedom, navigating complex political landscapes and the looming shadow of global conflict. Congress politics. Gandhi played a pivotal role in the Indian National Congress, shaping its policies and guiding its struggle for independence. However, he also faced internal disagreements and the growing tensions between Hindu and Muslim factions. World War II and Quit India movement. 1942, with the outbreak of World War II, Gandhi launched the Quit India movement, demanding an immediate end to British rule. This movement, though met with severe repression, further intensified the pressure on the British government. Negotiations and round-table conferences. Gandhi participated in several rounds of negotiations with the British government, including the round-table conferences in London, aimed at discussing India's constitutional future. However, these conferences ultimately failed to produce a consensus. Gandhi, who had tirelessly worked for Hindu-Muslim unity, spent his final months trying to heal the wounds of partition and appealing for peace. Despite Gandhi's fervent opposition, India was partitioned into India and Pakistan upon gaining independence on August 15, 1947. The partition led to widespread communal violence and immense human suffering, deeply distressing Gandhi. Ahimsa, or nonviolence, was not simply the absence of physical violence, but also the avoidance of hatred, malice, and ill will in thought, word, and deed. For Gandhi, truth was not merely factual accuracy, but a higher moral principle. Satyagraha was the active pursuit of truth through nonviolent resistance, appealing to the conscience of the oppressor. Mahatma Gandhi was assassinated on January 30th, 1948, by Nathuram Godse, a Hindu nationalist who opposed his advocacy for Hindu-Muslim unity. An eye for an eye will make the whole world blind. His funeral was a national event, and his cremation site at Rajghat in Delhi is a national memorial. Numerous statues, museums, and institutions worldwide commemorate his life and teachings. Gandhi's philosophy was rooted in the principles of truth, satya, and nonviolence, ahimsa. He advocated for simple living, self-sufficiency, swadeshi, and the upliftment of the marginalized, sarvodaya. His teachings inspired leaders like Martin Luther King Jr. In the American Civil Rights Movement, Nelson Mandela in the anti-apartheid struggle in South Africa, and countless others who have fought for justice and equality. Gandhi was a prolific writer, his most famous work being The Story of My Experiments with Truth, his autobiography. He also edited several newspapers and journals. In October 2nd, his birthday is observed as the International Day of Nonviolence by the United Nations. Award while he never received the Nobel Peace Prize, a fact often noted with regret. His influence on those who did is undeniable. Legacy. Revered as the father of the nation, in India, Gandhi's philosophy of nonviolent resistance has profoundly influenced civil rights movements and political activists across the globe. Current impact within India. Gandhi's principles continue to be debated and invoked in contemporary Indian politics and social movements, serving as a moral compass and a source of inspiration. My life is my message. Let us strive to embody the principles of truth and nonviolence in our own lives. Gandhi's life reminds us that even in the face of immense power and injustice, the unwavering commitment to truth and nonviolence can be a transformative force. His story is a testament to the power of the human spirit to strive for a better world. Thank you for weaving through this intricate thread of history with us on History's Tapestry, where every thread tells a story. If you found this exploration inspiring, please like, share, and subscribe for more stories that have shaped our world. What aspects of Gandhi's life resonate most with you? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, keep exploring the tapestry of history.